Hotline, the Harold Washington Post 1987 Hotline TV show. Bam! To that fantastic commander.
My man. Good evening, everybody. He throws me off. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Harold Washington 1987 hotline. This for not just for veterans, but for everybody that tunes in, because the program is designed for veterans, but see, it's for the civilians also, because see, the idea, a lot of veterans may not have a television.
Right.
When you looking at it, you're not a veteran, but I'm sure somebody in your family is a veteran.
Or in that lineage.
Yeah, and that way, you know, you can tell them what's going on, you know, because see, most of the things that go off through the veterans' neighborhood to their family members is through word of mouth. Tell them, you know, hey, I heard about such and such a program, you know, and you was hollering about your benefits and stuff like that. You should get someplace or come over to my house and look and listen to this show sometime. It's every Monday afternoon or evening from 6:30 to 7 on CAN TV. If you got RCN, RCN, WOW, AT&T, which is direct, or Comcast, if it's not sticking you up. But anyway, look at your cable provider and they tell you what channel that you could get us on. And today, we got a lot of topics we're talking about. And last week we was talking about the taxes and stuff.
Yes.
And you know, we got to bring that back up, because see, a lot of people not paying attention, but they're hollering.
Yes.
So, you know, if you're gonna holler, we're gonna give you something to holler about. Boom.
Commander, we was at a meeting in Villa Park talking to Senator Thomas Cullerton from the 23rd District. His committee voted to create the Consolidation of the School District Task Force. What we want you folks out there in television land to understand, and especially you veterans who own property, we are wasting $1 billion a year on administrative costs.
And that money could be going someplace else.
Yes, to the classroom. And giving us much needed property tax relief for our veterans as well as the civilian population.
And then, you know, now speaking of, you know, this is a veteran show. But see, you know, but when it comes down to property taxes,
It affects everybody.
it affects everybody.
Yes.
And then if you're a senior, and most of the seniors, you know, don't have money because see, they're on a fixed income.
Yes.
You know, and they just barely get by with what they have, what they getting in and stuff like that. So, you know, everyone, veterans, senior citizens, or whatever it may be, everyone need a relief. Some type of breather, you know, so they could save a little penny, nickels, and dimes, because see, they adds up.
Well, see, that's why at the table we brought out the fact that we need the schools off the property tax system.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 1995, the Chicago Sun-Times pointed out that the state needs to find another way to fund education.
They said that a lot with the lottery when they first bought
But that was the lottery money was to enhance the educational fund. That's all that was.
Yeah, I know.
But
That's a smoke screen.
well, yeah. But the bottom line is this: in 1819, that's when my board was created, my school board. Okay, property has been used for over 200 years to fund education. Okay? Now the point is, that system is outdated,
Elaborated.
antiquated, okay? And it's time for a new direction. Okay?
Yeah, because after a certain length of time, something need to be upgraded.
Yes. And you also got to take in consideration, there is a lot of folks who don't have kids in the school system anymore. And because they don't have kids in the school system, their position is, why am I paying all this money in property taxes and I don't have kids in the school system no more? But you see, the bottom line is, regardless of the fact that you don't have kids in the school system anymore, we all are responsible for educating these kids.
Because we live in a community.
Yeah.
And see, another thing, you know, because of the school system, what hurt CPS is the idea all of them likely be going that have went down through the school system for years and stuff, where people take their kids out of public school, send them to private schools and stuff like that. But okay, that's good and fine, but you still in the city of Chicago, Cook County.
Yeah.
So you know you still haven't did too much.
And you're still responsible for educating all
And you
these
still
kids.
and
Okay.
taxes.
Yes. Now, our position is, it's time to get away from the property tax system and find other avenues to pay for education, like what happened out in California, where Governor Brown reached over to the pot of gold called capital gains tax. Okay? And that's what we have to understand. There are a multitude of ways to fund education in this state, and that's what we got to look to. Okay.
Well, let me ask you about this. Now, the outgoing mayor was opposing the new casino for the city of Chicago. Okay, now the mayor-elect hasn't said anything about it, but my conversation is this. Do Chicago, I'm not talking about the suburbs. Do the city of Chicago need a casino? And then is it going to benefit the people here?
Well, I would say, this is how I look at it. We gonna smoke, we gonna drink, and we gonna gamble.
And I like how you say smoker, there's all kind of smoking.
Right.
Okay. They're trying to bring that up too.
Well, people gonna do these things.
They do it anyway.
People have these vices. And I'm not saying they're good or bad, but the bottom line is,
choice.
when we had prohibition didn't work because people still found the way to get alcohol.
Oh, yes.
Same thing with marijuana.
Yeah, right.
Same thing with gambling. Okay?
Everybody run across the border.
And take their money.
Right.
The money that we need here in Chicago and Illinois. So I say, if we're gonna have casinos, Chicago should have a casino. Okay? Now the thing about it, the casinos could be owned by the taxpayers and let their revenue be utilized to benefit the people of Chicago. Just like in Alaska, they get a check every year off the oil receipts.
Right.
Now, what makes Alaska so better than us?
And it's tax-free.
Right. But what makes Alaska better than us?
Now, you're asking the wrong person, because I'm going to tell you what makes Alaska better than the state of Illinois. Because the position that Alaska is in, because by it being the 50th state, or you could say 49th or whatever, and the wilderness and everything like that, it's almost as you saying an outreach program. What I mean by that, because see, when they brought Alaska in, wasn't nothing up in Alaska.
But they got
But
oil.
the resources, and all of that stuff,
And the citizen of Alaska benefit.
Right, and because see, they self-contained, might as well say, because see, that's why they don't have taxes up there. Because of what they have. But see, now here, especially the city of Chicago, Cook County, we've been taxed on tax, and I'm tired of taxes just like everybody else. And then everybody hollering, but I want to move. We so much in taxes, you can't move.
Well, let me throw this out there at you. And there's a pushback on this issue of the financial transaction tax, better known as the Wall Street tax.
Okay.
Now, JB, the governor, was told by LaSalle Street, don't come messing with us. Because if you come messing with us, we're going to pack up our marbles and move to Mississippi, as an example. And at the meeting today, the state senator made the same argument. That one, financial transaction tax. No, that ain't gonna work, because they say they'll pack up their marbles and move. And see, the problem I have with that, Commander, is that LaSalle Street is making trillions of dollars.
Yeah, that's the financial district.
Trillions of dollars. And think that they should not pay no taxes on those transactions. That's the problem I have. And they benefit from our infrastructure.
And we don't get anything from it. We don't get nothing. As they said, Nathan,
Yeah.
we don't get anything from it.
Hey, that's why we have to take the position that those folks on LaSalle Street should not mind paying a financial transaction tax that will benefit the people of Chicago and the state of Illinois and our children.
And that's why the governor was talking about taxing the rich.
Well, taxing the rich is part of the historical perspective of economics coming from Adam Smith. And Adam Smith's position was, he was the father of economics. He was the father of the progressive income tax system. And he made it crystal clear, the reason the rich should pay the bulk of the taxes, he said, Commander, they have the money.
They do.
And after they pay their fair share of income taxes, he also said they should pay a little bit more
Because they could afford it.
because they got the money.
Yeah, because look at 45.
No,
I hate to bring him up, but him himself, it still
he don't want to pay no taxes.
it still had taxes.
Absolutely.
All the presidents that been presidents of the United States had to show their taxes.
Yes.
All except for 45.
Yes. That's scandalous.
But people love him.
That's all
You
right.
know,
People love you.
I think those they do because I work.
You heard that, love.
I work hard for my veterans.
Yes. And you too. That's why we say to those of you out there in television land, those of you who own property, it's time for a new horizon. It's time that you realize things got to change. In order to stop people from leaving Illinois and Chicago, we got to change the tax structure. We got to get folks off the property tax system. We got to. Why? Number one reason why folks are leaving Chicago and this state, property taxes.
And more high rises going up and less community now.
Yes. And let's talk about the state of New Jersey. Commander, they number one in property taxes. Taxes so high in New Jersey. But Illinois is number two. And that's only by 2 or 3 points. If you really looked at the big picture of New Jersey and Illinois, they'll be just like that.
Bad margin of error.
Yeah. Because taxes, property taxes are so high. And the senator was saying this afternoon, he said his friends are telling him once their kids get out of high school, they leave in the state because the taxes is too high.
Well, okay, look at it this way again, as you're speaking of. That's why Chicago and Cook are losing their value because see, people running to Hammond,
Yeah.
they run to Indiana, they run
Yes.
to Wisconsin,
Iowa.
Milwaukee, Iowa, yeah,
Yes.
especially, you know, and see the idea because it's less strain of them. You know, like I said, Chicago, everything look wrong, we're being taxed. The Cook County president wanted to tax us for sugar. I mean, everything
The
like
sugar
that.
tax.
Sugar tax. Now they talking about surtax for gas for the infrastructure for the bridges and roads and stuff
But
like
see,
that.
the question about that one, Commander, they have already been taxing us for infrastructure through the motor fuel vehicle tax. Okay? They have already been using that money for infrastructure. But the problem is, they raised the money, they put down inferior concrete so that every year you got to dig it up to put down new concrete to keep these same folks working. They got concrete that they can lay down that could last 5, 10, 15, damn near 20 years.
You know what, that makes me think about the street I drive down there just about every day. Ashland Avenue.
Yes.
Ashland is the only street that I know in the city of Chicago, north or south. You go down there, certain parts of the year, it's fixed. The next 3 to 4 months or 5 months, they're digging up what they had did previously. You know,
It's a
figure out.
Number one, Commander, it's a scam. Number two, the question have been raised. Okay, say they lay the concrete that will last for 25 years. Well, that means that's money that you don't have to spend on resurfacing those streets.
Right.
Then now you got money for the bridges. Okay? Bridges are a different animal. You're going to have to replace bridges every 20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
But at least you're going to have some of the money there. But you shouldn't have to resurface the expressway or my street less than every 10 years.
With the city of Chicago, the roads have been repaired
Oh my God.
every year.
The potholes.
Every year.
And you know, that affects veterans. It tears up their cars.
And seniors and everything.
Yeah.
Now, okay, for senior citizens, barely getting around, barely can move and stuff like that. Now, how can they go grocery shopping when they got a busted tire or a frame of their car or something like that? You know, it's just impossible.
Some of them hoes would do damage to your frame
Oh, yeah.
on your car.
Oh yeah, ball joint, man, just
Yes.
think about everything. Ball joints and wheel alignment, you name it. It would do it. But see the idea, you have to have money to fix it.
Yes.
If you don't fix it in time, they're gonna take your car because see the idea, now you got the emission test. You got all of this coming up. Now if you can't pass the emission test or get your car out there to them,
That's another scam,
yeah,
Commander.
that's what I'm saying.
Because in Springfield, they don't have an emission test. It's on the outside of Springfield.
As what Chicago gonna try to make every money they can. You know, they don't want to see you with a penny. If they see you with a penny, they want to make sure that penny is crying. You know, it don't make no sense.
Well, that penny is crying.
For real. A penny need help.
Oh boy, what can you say, Commander?
Okay, but also for the veterans, we want to let you all know about the Chicago White Sox tickets that's coming up. The first one is coming up May 27th, and that's on a Monday at
Now,
1
how do
o'clock.
they get the free ticket? Do they just go to the
You have to bring your
DD-14?
if that's necessary, but you know your veterans card, if you got one from the VA or something like that, or your Cook County veterans card or something like that. Anything that's showing that you was in the service, you could come in there. They're having 4 different dates.
Okay.
But this is the closest one.
And what's the other 3 dates?
The other one is July 30, 4th of July. The next one is Tuesday, August 13th. The 4th and final one is Wednesday, September 11th at 7 p.m.
And for you veterans out there who love baseball, take advantage of this stuff. Because if you don't take advantage of these perks that we deserve as veterans, believe me, they will go away.
And also for the veterans, this is May is coming up. Wednesday will be May 1st. And
What?
yes.
Wait a minute. I thought we were still in April.
We are in April. We're knocking on the door. But see, this what you said, it flies.
Yes.
Just like time ahead, we'd be having fun and everything. Next thing, by the time we really get into it, we got to pack up and go. But same thing. For you veterans, female also. We having a stand down, which is May 18th. It's on a Saturday. It's going to be at 2501 West Taylor Street. It's right off of Western. So it should be Artesian, I believe.
Now, what normally happens is stand down. I've never been to a stand down.
Stand down is where you come in, and if they serving breakfast during that time, you have a hot breakfast or hot lunch. You have lunch or whatever.
Okay.
But see, you find out you come in for checkups, dinner work, free haircuts, and then for clothes, they give you plenty of clothes.
Okay.
Women, for women and men, shoes, toiletries and stuff like that. And like I say, they have a lot of things to offer.
Let me give you flash news update. 6th annual homeless veteran stand down hosted by Safe Haven, Saturday, May 18, 2019, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. A Safe Haven warehouse, 2501 West Taylor Street, Chicago, Illinois 60608, accessible by the 12th Roosevelt or 49th Western Route. Surplus gear from U.S. Department of Defense, free services, healthcare screening, homeless prevention assistance, veterans benefit, employment, job counseling, recovery and mental health providers, permanent housing, emergency shelter service, legal service, financial service, educational opportunity, free haircuts, that she was talking about, massage therapists, free HIV, hepatitis C testing and immunization, chaplain service, hygiene kits, food, beverage, snack. To download and print out, stand down flyer, sign up to volunteer. And we always need volunteers.
Yes.
To become a sponsor, please visit our website, www.asafehaven.org, Veteran Stand Down. Volunteers call 773-435-8386. We stand with women veterans, expanded private areas dedicated specifically for female veterans. Services include new clothing, boutique, female healthcare providers, health education, gift bags, and more. She was strong for us. Let's be strong for our sisters who are now veterans.
And I say sisters in the struggle. And also, when they say, for volunteers for stand down, we as the Harold Washington American Legion Post 1987, we will be there. We're there every year to help serve our veterans. Come to our table, we'll sit down and try to talk about your benefits and everything like that. But see, this is the opportunity what we have to serve our community, to give you the knowledge that you need to know. Because see, also, we'll also talk about, for your discharge papers.
DD-214?
DD-214s and all that, because see, then you could also go to John Marshall Law School. We have programs for that. To upgrade.
That's if you get a bad discharge.
To upgrade your
If
discharge.
our discharge was honorable, so we got an honorable discharge, and some of you guys did not get an honorable discharge.
You got general under honorable conditions and worse, but
Yes.
you can have them up. You can have 'em upgraded
Upgraded.
now. So we have all the information. Just come.
Shout out to our technician Jack. We hope you feel better. To the First Lady, take care of Jack.
And also to the special lady that's out there now, Miss Sylvia Snowden.
You the lady.
That's her. That's the technician for tonight.